Hi there. My name is Amari Castillo Severa, and today I will be presenting OpenMind, a multimodal analysis of empathetic AI that I created to be used as an intermediary for therapists itself. The research that you will see today focuses on how we can use biometric data itself to bridge the accessibility gap in global mental health support. Today, we are currently facing a global mental health crisis. 1 in 5 adults are diagnosed annually, yet adolescent mental health accounts for around 30% of the world's disease burden. In Florida alone, we rank around 49th in access to care, and traditional clinical models simply cannot scale fast enough itself, and social stigma often prevents teenagers from seeking face-to-face help. There is obviously a clear technical gap, as most current AI tools are unimodal, such as the Dartmouth one that was known to be able to help people, and they only read text, meaning they misrun 90% of the other communication that happens through vocal tremors and facial emotions themselves. To solve this, I integrated a late fusion architecture, and instead of just reading a chat box itself, OpenMind integrates three distinct data streams: face tracking via media pipe, voice prosody analysis, which detects the vocal tone, and an LLM-driven cognitive behavioral therapy module, which allows for a framework that comes from thousands of hours of training itself. By fusing these streams at the decision level, the AI builds a robust emotional profile similar to how a human therapist observes a patient itself. Furthermore, one of the biggest hurdles for adolescent AI adoption is trust. My system utilizes a zero retention architecture. This means that 100% of the biometric processing happens on device. It doesn't store any voices or faces on the cloud. It only sends anonymous emotion vectors to the model to sidestep HIPAA and FERPA risks while building radical trust with any potential future users. Furthermore, after that, what I came to research and what I ended up hypothesizing was that the multimodal fusion would achieve over 88% accuracy. The second hypothesis being that it would at least score a 4 out of 5 on the empathy scales, and that the safety protocol would catch around 95% of the crisis level inputs coming from the open sourced information coming in. What I did to test this without risking human safety was conducting an in silico validation study with around 5,400 trials. I used an automated script called an NLU in OBS Studio to stream labeled emotional data into the live app across 12 different languages. And each response was then scored using the Empathy Assessment Scale, or the EAS, as I stated before, which is a validated measurement scale based off of psychology research to ensure objective optimization. And what ended up happening was there was a systemic success, and how the results were definitive itself, confirming all three hypotheses. The accuracy hit exactly 88%, and the mean empathy scores reached around 4.12 out of 5, overachieving what I originally predicted. And our crisis recall was a staggering 98%. And statistically, we established a causal link hierarchy, meaning that high accuracy detection isn't just a technical metric, but rather it directly drives the therapeutic effectiveness of the AI's response. One of my most statistic findings was the cultural adaptability of the model. As you can see from the t-test data shown on the screen, every language, from Arabic and Japanese to Spanish and English, scored significantly above the 2.0 midpoint, suggesting that the empathy engine is robust and culturally agnostic and be able to adapt to the circumstance itself. Furthermore, I also performed the ANOVA and chi-square tests to check for bias, and finding no statistical bias based on the input type itself, and whether a user communicated through rich video or simple text, the AI's effectiveness remained consistent itself. Furthermore, regarding safety, the system was really good. Around over 100% of the time during high-risk simulations, it overrode standard responses, and with a 98% recall rate, it acts as a reliable safety net and routing users correctly to the 988 hotline itself. Furthermore, while we had a 12% error rate, a deep dive into the data showed that these were safe errors, confusing fear for surprise, for example. And most importantly, the system detected 99% of sadness and depression cues, ensuring that the subtle cries for help were never missed. And in conclusion, OpenMind provides a blueprint for ethical, private, and globally effective AI by validating the theories of Beck and Picard across 5,400 trials itself, and ultimately proving that a multimodal foundation can ensure equity in mental health at a global scale. Looking forward into this, I would like to hopefully do research on human subjects with supervised trials with clinical therapists itself, heart rate integration, and reducing the 12% error rate itself. Thank you.